Welcome to another Scotch review. Hi, I am Mark, and glad you tuned in. Give it a like, thumbs up, give me some feedback, tell me something you'd like me to try, and I will do my best to do that. So today we have Tamdhu. This is the Speyside single malt Scotch. I'm going to open up. This is the 12-year-old, which I have not had before. Nice bottles that they have. I have had their cask strength, and I think that's the only one that I've had. And so yeah, this is kind of part of their core line, 10, 12, 15. I think they have some older ones than that. I'm not very familiar with Tamdhu. Like I said, I think I've had the one cask strength, and that has been it, and that was recent. So let me go ahead and pour it. Okay, so Tamdhu is, again, a Speyside single malt Scotch founded in 1897. Well, they first distilled in 1897. They were founded in 1896. They were the last Scottish distillers to use a Saladin box for malting barley, which is just a not very efficient way. It's in a big, huge concrete box, but they closed in 2010 after being sold off by the Edgerton Group, which Edgerton Group is, as I've talked about before, that's Macallan, Highland Park, Famous Grouse, and then they have some American distilleries. But they had Tamdhu until 2010, and immediately after closing, they sold it to Ian McLeod in 2011, and their Tamdhu is a lot of their distillate is used in Cutty Sark, Famous Grouse, JMD. They mostly do blends, but they're starting to create more single malts, and they really are, the one I've had I really liked. So, and in Scots Gaelic, Tamdhu means the little dark hill. They rebranded their lineup in about 2018 maybe is when they started rebranding it and coming up with, like I said, focusing more on single malts, fancy bottles. They use exclusively Oloroso sherry casks. They air dry the casks. In Spanish, mostly use Spanish oak. They use some American oak. And it takes 6 years. I was watching a video on this. It takes them 6 years to get it from cutting it to where they're actually in a barrel and putting sherry in it. So, is that right? That may be to the Scotch. Anyway, it takes them a long time because it's air dried for 2 years. And it's harvested from northern Spain, where they get their Spanish oak. Then they send it to Jerez to be filled with Oloroso sherry. They use the Tabasa cooperage, which is one of the, in Andalusia, Spain, which is one of the more well-known cooperages. And they go through a second drying period there when the casks are then toasted. They use the Humberto Domecq, and I don't know how to say that, and the Vassima Bordegas for their sherry. The white oak that they do use on occasion does come from Kentucky, and again, the sherry that sits in the American oak is about 2 years old. Tamdhu has 3 wash and 3 spirit stills. They make about 4 million gallons a year. So this is the 12-year. It is 43% ABV, and it uses natural color. So, speaking of natural color, let's go ahead and show it to you. And I believe they also don't chill filter, but show it to you in the glass. Tell you what, it still continues to air out some. Okay. I'll go with the bottle first, since 12-year-old really doesn't say much of anything. 43% ABV. Nothing. Well, the box has quite a bit. Well, I say that, and it doesn't really have that much. It says Tamdhu was born in 1897 on the banks of the River Spey. Now, as then, every dram is crafted with the same care, starting with water drawn from our spring. In 1898, our founders created another Tamdhu tradition, securing a first precious shipment of sherry casks. Today, Tamdhu matures exclusively in the finest Oloroso sherry casks, nothing less. This scarce wood bears two great gifts, color and taste. Tamdhu's deep amber is developed by cask, nothing more, and each dram owes its rich, complex taste to the wood it calls home. A magnificent Speyside malt for the sherry wood connoisseur. And it says it's going to taste like iced cinnamon rolls, sweet oak, mint. Palate is bananas, biscuit, and sherry. And finish, it says long and balanced. So, all right, let's see what we come up with. Let me roll it one more time. Okay. It's definitely got some spice for a 12-year-old. I'm getting like dried fruits, dried dark fruits, plums, raisins, prunes. Definitely getting that citrus spice. Is what I'm getting through. Like blood oranges. Yeah, like the, you know, those deep color oranges. Yeah, this is like dry, like raisins, figs, prunes. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely that, again, prunes, raisins, figs and dates, the blood oranges, blood orange spice. There's some sweetness in the back, a little bit of candy sugar. Maybe a little oak, sweet oak, and a little bit of, I don't know. There's faint nuts in there, like pecans. Very faint. All right, onto the palate. Been smelling it long enough. Okay, there is definitely a maltiness that comes through with the spicy oranges. This is definitely spicy. Cinnamon, malt and cereal. Again, oranges. There's a lot more nuts come through on this. Okay, I like the cereal note for sure, but it is a lot more spicy than I expected. More oranges come through, more of that spice is coming through now. Okay. There's a little bit of chocolate on the finish. Bitter chocolate, bitter coffee. Yeah, there's some of that chocolate coming through now. Yeah, cinnamon spice, nuts, oranges, chocolate, and then that grainy malt. Cereal, I think grainy, cereal malt coming through. Okay. For something that's done exclusively in Oloroso sherry, this is not the sherry bomb I expected. This is definitely not what I thought. Tamdhu is a good bargain. It's not an expensive Scotch. I don't remember, but it was definitely less than 100 that I paid for this. This is the 12. Yeah, I paid probably 80, 90 bucks. So it's definitely not blowing me away, but it is what it is. It's a 6. See you next time.